cats, what's happening? Hey, I'm Itchymoche. You can call me Itchy. If you haven't watched my videos yet, check out my channel. I've got a lot of entertaining videos. I cover all kinds of bases. Hanging out with V. Subscribe if you haven't. I think you'll like it. Anyways, let's get down to business today. We're going to talk about brick pavers, a brick paver sidewalk. Now, many years ago, I installed this brick paver sidewalk. As you can see, it's kind of faded. I didn't buy these bricks by chance. My father put in a large brick paver sidewalk at his place, and he had ordered a little more than what he thought he was going to use. So he had a couple pallets left over, and he told me, he said, hey, if you want these brick pavers, come over and take them, and maybe you'll have enough to do a sidewalk of your own. Sure enough, I was able to use every last one, and this was the result. So we have, coming down the front steps, it goes down into the basement landing down there, and then we come out for a loading area for groceries and stuff. Now, the problem you'll find with brick paver walkways is over the test of time, the elements can do damage to them. There's different things that can happen. The frost can really take a toll on brick pavers and separate them. Roots can have a tendency to heave up the bricks, pull them apart, and settling can occur, especially along the foundation where there's fill. You can see these bricks here along the step have settled a couple inches, so I'm going to need to raise those back up. What I'm going to do today is reset my brick paver walkway. Now, I've already got a good start on it. Now, believe it or not, just in the first section that I did, these are the roots that I chopped out from underneath the bricks that had heaved up the bricks on my walkway. I also had some settling here. As you can see, the bricks back in the back here are the ones that I have raised, and this was the ones that were pushed down just from the tires driving on there. So the upper part has been reset already, and this lower section still has to be reset. So just for terminology, we call these along the edge soldier bricks. They're all rectangular bricks. They're all the same, except where we get to the corners and they're cut. Again, soldier bricks, and then the brick pavers. Now, as you'll see, some of these brick pavers along the edge have been cut to fit against the soldier bricks. So there's been some custom cutting. When you first install these things, and they're brand new, you're going to need a brick saw. And those are wet saws. So there's water that circulates through the blade to keep the blade from getting too hot. It's usually a diamond blade, and it'll cut through these like butter if you have the right equipment. You'll see there's some custom cuts in these, these little wedges and stuff that have to be cut, especially when you're doing like a radius or something. And then obviously these corners have to be cut. The angle gets cut on these soldier bricks so that you get a nice corner on that. My walkway's already cut though, everything's been installed, so what I'm doing basically is removing these bricks. I'm going to start with this section right here, and I'm going to come down and remove it to this line of soldiers, and I'm just going to redo that section this morning. It's quite a big job. It looks easy enough, but all these bricks, because they're all cut specifically to fit, it's like a big jigsaw puzzle. It has to go back the exact same way. So what I'm going to do is pick all these up, set them over here in the grass in the exact order that I take them out, and then when I put them back, I put them all back in the exact same way so that everything fits right up to this line, and it's got to match this line all the way across here when I'm done. Okay, now I'm going to show you some of the tools that I need to do this job. First of all, I'm going to need some tools to pry the bricks apart to get them loose, because they're going to be pretty tight. So I got a big screwdriver, and I also have this scraper tool, because as I pull the bricks out, they're going to have mud and dirt on them, and I got to clean the mud off of them. I got some kneeling pads here because you're going to be on your knees. You don't want to be kneeling on these bricks. Knee pads would probably work. I like to just move these things around with me. And you're also going to need a good pair of leather gloves. These bricks are pretty abrasive. It's like handling sandpaper. Cloth gloves will work, but you'll wear holes through the fingers faster than you can blink an eye. Some other tools I have over here for finishing up the work. I got a bigger pry bar in case I need it. I got a trowel for just moving some sand or dirt around. The rubber mallet for tapping the bricks in place. And a hammer just in case I need it to chop out roots. Now this tool here is really sharp on this one end. Not the screwdriver, but this blade, so I can use that to chop roots, and I hammer on this end of it, and it works well to pull the roots out if I run into that. I also have a couple buckets that I can keep some, you know, if I have dirt or debris I need to get rid of, and then my screeds that I'm going to use. I'm going to get started over here pulling out these bricks. Now see, they're wedged in there very tight, so that's what I'm going to use the screwdriver for. Now you'll see it's caked with mud and dirt, so again I take my bucket and I'll just clean that mud off of these. Now these are the soldier bricks, so there's no reason to organize them in any specific way because they're all identical. They all go in the same way. So I'm just going to stack them over on the side. This one corner brick though, we'll scrape the mud off of it and I will show you. It has a specific cut because it fits right into the corner here. Fits right into that corner. So that one I'm going to put right there so I know that's the first one that goes in. And then I'm just going to start pulling these out. Scraping the mud off of them. I'll stack them over to the side. Okay, now that I've got all the soldiers removed from this section down to this line of soldiers, which I'll take out as well. But next I have to take these bricks out. So these are going to get transferred exactly as you see them to keep the puzzle to go together the same way. I'm going to move them over here on the grass one by one, starting up here in the corner. That goes there, and then work my way across. And then row by row, I'll remove these bricks and put them over here the exact same way. If I don't, they're never going to go back in the exact same way. And even doing it this way, you'll find that sometimes you still have trouble getting them to all fit right. Alright, well I've transferred all of my bricks over here exactly as they came out. You'll see I put them all together the exact same way. Soldier bricks are kind of stacked up, but there was one little cut one here. I wanted to make sure that went in right over here, so I set it right in the order that it'll go across. You'll notice there's a lot of dirt and debris in there, mud, that's actually worked its way down through the cracks of the bricks over the years. So I'm going to scrape all that up and get rid of that, and then I'm going to put some new base material in there. Now originally this has a pretty good base, at least 4 inches of limestone in there that's compacted. But even that didn't keep these from settling. So now I've got to re-screed everything and try to get the level back up to the steps there. I got a couple screeds here. I have this little thin board, and pretty much it's just something that has a nice straight edge on it for scraping level. And I also have this 2x4 down here that's longer, that I'll be able to get my grade on all the way across, so everything's level, even. I'm not going to use a level on this because it's not level. I want it to drain out from the house so the water runs away. So it'll be higher here and then drop down towards the driveway here when I'm done. This mud isn't going to make a good base, so what I'm going to do is just load this up in a bucket. Now you can use sand, crushed limestone, anything for this base material. I use this Quikrete all-purpose sand. It says all-purpose sand is washed, properly graded coarse, as an underlayment for brick, pavers, and flagstone. So I got that at Home Depot. 50-pound bags. They're pretty heavy, but it seems to work well. Alright, now I got my base screeded out to exactly where I want it. I have my level all the way across there, brought it up quite a bit, and I'm going to start working my way out. Then I'm going to start putting my soldiers in, and then I'll start moving this pattern over exactly as it's sitting here. Transfer it back the way it was, and hopefully it all comes together right. There you go. These ones are all done. I'm going to go ahead and reset these over here. These aren't really paver bricks. These are the like 1 foot by 1 foot squares that you get at Walmart. We just put those under the hose. So I'm going to pull those up, get some sand under them, and bring it up to match these bricks here, because that's sunk down a little there. Make it all look even. Now I've got my bricks all set. I reset these blocks over here under the hose so that they line up with that. I got this to the grade that I wanted it, and these are all reset out here. This had a big crown right here, so that was leveled off. The next thing I'm going to do is I took sand and I dumped the pile here, and I'm going to take my broom. I have a street broom here, and I'm going to start sweeping this around, and it'll fill in all the cracks and just kind of wedge everything in tightly. And you can kind of see how the sand is sifting down in between the bricks, and that just tightens everything up so they're not going to move. They're not going to move or bounce when you walk on them. And I just keep sweeping that sand back and forth over there till all those cracks are pretty well filled up. So there you have it, cats. I got that section all reset, screeded, sand swept into it, and then I hosed it down just to rinse the dirt off of it after I'd swept the sand into it. So now all I have this section to do up to this line right here. I have this section left to do. And you can see it's holding some water right down here in the corner. It's kind of a trench here where the tires have pushed it down, so this will all be raised up a little bit along this edge here. Still quite a bit of work cut out for me left to do. I wanted to do it while it was shady here, because as you can see, it's a nice sunny day, and once the sun gets over here, I didn't want to be working in the heat, because the temperatures are going up, 80, 90 degrees on these summer days. So I got my work done in the morning. Whoever said retirement was easy? Trying to catch up on some of these projects before winter rolls in. And once they're done, they're ahead of me. But there's plenty of time for fun and games and rest and relaxation too. So like I said, if you haven't watched my videos, check into my channel, look at some of the other videos, check out the adventures that V and I go on. I'm sure you'll like it. Click the like button and subscribe. Until next time.